Hello, this is Agent XP, and today we're going to do an author playthrough of my second custom TRLE, which is called South Pacific. And this level was built for a 20 square challenge competition. The nature of this competition involves building a level within the confines of a 20 by 20 by 20 square area in the level editor. This can be split into as many rooms as you like, as long as the level remains within the confines of that space. So we're going to go ahead and load up the game. We begin the level with Lara in this small beach area, and you can see out into the bigger ocean, but you can only explore this small area of beach. And if we go onto the shore, and if we take a look up, we can see this is quite a high room, so there's a lot to explore above us, but the floor space is relatively small, and that is partly due to the nature of the competition. And if we check out the poor unfortunate Skelly, we can find a shotgun. I think he spent a bit too long on the beach. If we look to this palm tree, we will notice that Lara can climb it. It's effectively a climbing pole, and there's a switch in this small alcove area. And you may hear that that opens something outside. And if you recall, when you looked up just a minute ago, there was a sort of trapdoor attached to the hut type thing further up the room, and that is what that switch opened. So if we look at this area of rock, we can see a shimmy crack, and we can use this to get higher up in the room. Do a backflip and grab what is a ladder. So it looks like vines, but Lara can grab it. And make sure you make Lara grab her footing on this ladder, because otherwise you'll get some weird bugs happening if you try and shimmy around this ladder without Lara gaining her foothold. And we can do a backflip to another similar ladder, and we can go for a secret. Now, if you looked around at the start, you may have noticed something gold on this ledge, and this is how you get to it. We're going to dangle and drop Lara from the bottom, and we can claim the first secret of the level, which is some gold doubloons. There's quite a bit of treasure left in this level, and if you check out the story, you will see that Lara is on holiday and she's read some legend about lost treasure left by pirates, and she decides, being Lara, to go and look for it. So we're going to go back up this ladder, and once again make sure Lara gains her foothold here so that we don't get bugs when Lara shimmies around the corner. So go to the front section of the ladder, and we want to climb up to the top of the room. Now if we climb up here through the tree line, you can see that Lara can jump to the top of the branch, and if we explore further along it on the roof of the little hut, we will find another secret, but this time it's something very useful. Aha! Lara has found some Uzis. They might come in handy later. Now you can find a way down that doesn't involve dropping straight into the water, but I find that's the easiest and most reliable way of not taking damage, so I tend to prefer just dropping straight down. You can probably find a slightly quicker way of getting back to that ledge if you want to, but I generally just drop in the water. After all, it's quite fun. Lara makes a splash. If you're a big kid like me, you enjoy such things. And we're going to go back up this ladder, or should I say the vines. I really am a fan of these South Pacific textures. I love, well, Tomb Raider 3 is my favourite of the original games because of the locations. I really love the locations in Tomb Raider 3, and these textures are probably one of my favourite. I'm always torn between India, Nevada and South Pacific. I really enjoy building with these textures. And as we look up, we can see the handholds, and we are going to traverse the monkey swing. And because we threw the switch in that little alcove below, the trap door is now up, So if we shimmy to the last tile, then we can drop down safely and land on the trapdoor and make our way into the hut. Nice light beams, but if we look at the floor in front of Lara, you may be a little suspicious, and rightly so. We want to sprint across here because that was a trap, and it was inspired by Lara Croft and the Guardian of Light. So we see here in the centre of the room there's a pool of water. We're going to jump straight in. And I take a look around, and if we swim down to the bottom of the pool, you might notice this face on the wall. This is in fact an underwater door. So we're going to open this, and inside we will find an underwater lever, and we're going to pull it. Oh no, can you hear? There's something in the water with us, and it's an alligator. So we're going to climb out, and we're going to dispose of him because he's going to hamper our efforts underwater quite badly if we can just leave him there. Sorry, Croc. Have we got him? No, he's still there. And that's the Croc disposed of. So save our game again. You may notice there's a trapdoor open underwater, and we are going to swim down and claim the first ruby gemstone. At least I think that's what they're called. And then swim back up again. But there are more things to do in this room. We can take a look around. You can see there are some unlit torches on the wall. And if we explore down this hallway, there is a switch. So we're going to pull that. And what that does is it deactivates the flames at the end of this corridor. So run to the end and pull this switch. We're going to find out what this does. So if you look into the main room, it's raised a block. And we're going to explore a bit further. If we go over to the campfire, we can pick up a stick from the campfire. And yes, we've got a torch. That means we can use that to light the torches in the room. And so we're going to drop that onto the raising block, as you just saw there, and use the switch to raise up the block. And that way we can take the torch into the upper part of the room to light it. But how do we get up there now? This block looks different. Yes, it's a push block. So we're going to move this out, and we're going to use this to get on top of the block that we just raised. And you may realise that we can also use that push block to light the torch, because it makes Lara the right height. Now we're going to go light our torch, and you can immediately light the one next to it, like so. And there's another torch over the other side of the room. This is basically find the torch. I tend to like torch puzzles. If you've played my levels or any of my other levels, you may have realised that. So we're going to drop down, and we've already got the block in place to light this first torch. And then if we move the block a little bit further along, we'll be able to light the next torch. So we're going to move it out. I didn't have it so that you had to move the block a long way, which is something I hate. It's a kind of a pet hate of mine in levels. I don't like long pushable puzzles. I don't mind moving one or two things, but it's relatively short. And now we can light this torch, and there's another torch on this bit of wall. We're going to light that. And if we look around, there's one more thing that we can light. If we walk over to the campfire, being very careful to stand on the edge of the tile, not on the tile, we can light the campfire. And that's it for the torch. We can drop it now, because we have now opened up the path to another ruby gemstone. So we're going to pick that up, and lighting the campfire meant that the opposite door has opened, and inside we will find some more treasure. Aha! That is some gold ingots. Lara's going to be rich by the end of this trip, not that she isn't already. She can add some gold plating to some part of her mansion. And this block is still in the right position for us to be able to run, jump and climb back up, which is quite handy, and go through the door. And if we check behind this sort of fence type thing, there's some shotgun ammo there that we can pick up. And we are going to put the gemstone in the slot. Ruby gemstone. And the door behind us opens. Now we're going to get a cutscene. And I'm going to save my game first and pull out the shotgun ready, because we are going to get a view of... Oh no! One of the pirates has come back to reclaim his treasure. So what we're going to want to do is put our back to this bit of wall and wait until he jumps towards us and then blast him off the ledge straight away. Oh no, he's also brought his pesky parrot with him. So it's going to have a go at us, but we're going to kill it, and it requires more shots than the pirate to get rid of. It's quite a tank, that parrot. And you may notice there are some ledges, but before we take care of those, we're going to drop down to the lower level, because we have another gemstone to place, and we also want to claim a couple more secrets. Here we see another unfortunate dude, and he left us a small medkit, which is very useful. And behind the greenery on the wall there is another ruby gemstone, and we're going to place that. And then we want to check out the swamp. Now, there's no swamp map, but the key to navigating the swamp is to look at it carefully, and you will notice that the tiles we can stand on are the ones that aren't moving. So if a tile is still, if a leaf tile rather is still, then that means we can jump to it safely without sinking into the mud. And we're going to go over here, and you may have noticed there are some more vines. So we're going to climb these, and we are on our way to another secret. So climb up. You can pull up on half of this tile. It's flat enough. And we're sort of up in the trees a little bit now. Jump across, and this side there is another ledge you can stand on. And I was trying to be clever here, and I was going to do a running jump to that branch, but I failed miserably. So we're going to go back around, reload, and we're going to try again. And the safer thing to do is to shimmy along this wall section, and then at the end we can pull up, and the ledge is flat and we can stand on it. So then we want to hop up to the tree branch, pull ourselves up, and then we can jump around the tree to the branch. And if we look at the tree trunk, you may notice there are some vines on it. So we're going to climb up the vines and shimmy to the right to the bit with the handholds, pull ourselves up a little, and then we can climb to the right and pull up into the top of the tree. We've got some more oh, whoops, that was hairy. We've got some more doubloons. Aha. Right, I am now going to do something a little risky. So opposite, you can see another ruby gemstone, and that is another secret area. So we want to hop to this branch, and a quick way of getting to that is to do what I'm about to do. Now you can, a slightly safer way, is to just climb back down and traverse the swamp to another safe tile. Or you can do this, you can do a running jump and then climb straight onto this ladder before Lara sinks into the mud too far. And then we're going to climb up this ladder. And we climb across this grating in the wall, which gives you a teaser into another area that we're going to be exploring soon. Now, this ruby gemstone doesn't do anything immediately, but it will allow us to get another secret. So it's almost a secret within a secret. You have to find this secret in order to find the next secret. And if we look to the left there, you can spy another bit of gold. And I love being here. I love being right at the top of the level, and you can see the birds flying around and the sunset. It's really cool. And claim our doubloons. And now all we have to do is get down safely. Once again, if you look through the grating, you get another preview into the next area. Another unfortunate. And if we look down, we want to aim for that swamp tile, that safe tile in the middle of the swamp. And we can do that by just jumping off from the position that I just did. And if we climb straight onto that swamp tile, we will be able to climb out without Lara sinking too deeply. Quite risky, but it is entirely possible. And now we want to climb back up the ladder, and we want to finally open the door so that we can progress to the next area. That was all about getting secrets so far. Now for this next bit, we want to try and give Lara enough space so that she needs to do a standing jump and grab the ledge in front of us. We do not want to stand on the ledge because, as you can see, there's fire on that ledge. So we want to jump and grab so that Lara grabs the edge but does not climb onto it so that we don't get our feet burnt. And then we can shimmy around and use one of Lara's new moves to get to the next ledge. So if you just press and hold back for a second, Lara will jump backwards off the ledge, and then we can grab the next ledge and do the same here. And do another backwards jump onto this ledge with the switch. Save our game because this next switch is timed. So throw the switch, drop down, and we want to go back to the safe tile in the swamp. Do a running jump, land on the edge, do another running jump to the doorway, and quickly slide on inside. Before we do anything too hasty, we want to take a note of our surroundings, and if you look up to your left you can see a boulder, and we can also see a slope here. So what we're going to want to do to avoid the boulder is we're going to want to jump back and forth on the slope, and I did it a little bit too soon. You want to do it where there are two slopes opposite each other, and if we cross the grating, that is going to trigger the boulder. Before we go into the room, if we want another secret, it's worth paying attention to where the boulder came from. And if you look on the wall, it's the same texture as that secret ladder. Whoops, ladders can be a little bit dodgy, so if you get stuck, just use the jump up option. And here we see in the wall there are some handholds. So climb on up, and then we want to climb around to the left, and then pull ourselves up into the secret area, and we can see there are some more gold ingots. Now we want to drop back down again. Now it's worth paying attention to that grating in the floor. We want the shotgun at the ready as we enter this room because there's a raptor waiting for us. So we want to dispose of him, and we want to think back to the Times Tomb Raider level. So if anybody has played the Last Revelation Times level, you might remember a neat little trick. Now, not that many people know about this, and I got quite a few complaints in reviews of this level about the beetles. But for anyone that paid attention to this grating in the floor, you will note that if you get the beetles to follow you, like so, and stand the other side of the grate, you can get the beetles to fall into it. And that is how you are meant to get rid of them. You are not meant to have to run around the level with the beetles attacking you. There is a way to get rid of them. I wouldn't be that mean. I wouldn't just give an area with beetles. But unfortunately not that many people knew about that trick, and that was kind of an oversight. So we don't have them following us around. And what we now need to do is climb to this block in the middle and turn our attention upwards, and we can see the handholds in the walls. And what we do is do a standing forward jump and grab here, and we're going to grab the ceiling, which is a monkey swing. But you say, how does that help us? Now what we need to do is position Lara facing outwards and press the jump button. And this is where one of Lara's new moves comes into play. Lara will jump from the monkey swing up onto the ladder, and this is kind of harking back to Tomb Raider AOD, where Lara could climb from monkey to ladder. And it's a nifty little new move. Once again, not that many people realised that it was a thing, and quite a few people got stuck on that. So read the README, guys. Likewise, we can climb from ladder to the monkey swing above. And now we're traversing the grating that we were standing on top of earlier. And we're going to shimmy to the end and drop off. what we need to do here is turn our attention to the trapdoor. I'm not far enough to the left. I need to be right up against the wall for Lara to grab that. And then pull on up and climb up into this room. Now this room is filled with smoke, and Lara will start coughing and spluttering when she enters here, and you will see a bar appear. Now we can't stay up here for too long because Lara can't breathe in all the smoke. So we want to drop down, and now that we've pushed the boulder out of the other side of the hole, we can then push the boulder further down the slope and into the main part of the room. So we're going to do that. That's another new move, pushing boulders, and it drops down and opens up the trapdoor for us into another area. So in order to get down there, what we're going to want to do is come around this side and drop and grab, and this is where we place the other ruby gemstone that we picked up. So this will allow us to enter another secret area. So if you didn't pick that up, you wouldn't be able to get the secret. So we're going to drop down, and if we drop down from here, we should be able to reach the floor without taking too much damage. And then we're going to save our game and drop into the water. And we're going to swim down. It's quite tight to get into, but you can. And ahead is the secret trapdoor that opened, but we're going to go to the right and into this area. Now, save our game straight away, because as soon as you enter this area, you will see it's a death trap. There is loads of fire, so we will need to wait until the fire goes out, pull up very quickly onto this ledge, and do a standing forward jump. Do not stand on any of the lower grey tiles in the middle of the room. They're completely trapped. And you can see the hole here, so wait for the fire to go out, and then Lara can reach into it. Do not move after she's done so. Wait on the spot until the fire goes out, and then move back to the safe tile. And then we need to time another standing jump and wait till the fire goes out and do our jump. Now you may see that there's a small med kit in the middle there. You can get it if you want, but you will take damage because there is a trap in the ceiling that will trigger if you pick up that med kit, so it's not really worth it. You can get it if you're really determined to, but it was kind of designed as a troll. And here's another trapped hallway, and one of our favourite traps. Now, lots of people hate these, but they are actually quite easy to get through if you know how. So what we do is line Lara up for a sideways jump, and after the blades have retracted, sideways jump through, and you will take no damage at all. Those traps are actually not too bad to get through if you know that little trick. And claim our secret, and immediately jump back because there'll be another trap that will come down from the ceiling. But if you did get scratched, I have provided a large medkit for you, and we can jump up to this little alcove, and then we can back Lara out of it the other side, and we will then drop back into the water in the same place that we entered the area, and then we just swim back out. So climb out of the water, and we are going to need to do the long climb again. So climb up on the block in the middle of the room, and like before, walk to the edge, do a standing jump and grab to grab the monkey swing, and then position Lara facing the outer side of the ledge and press jump, and Lara will grab the ladder, and then we can climb on up. Like I said, the South Pacific textures are one of my favourite sets. I really enjoyed building with them here. And I thought it was quite fun to add a slightly newer twist by putting in some of the TRNG style moves and animations for Lara. And for some reason I really like having monkey swings where you're on a grid so you can see into a room above. I think that's a really cool thing. I love building areas where you can see into another area from the area that you're in. I loved it when they did that in the classics. Right, now if you look at this wall, you may have noticed some protruding stones, and this signifies that you can climb on this bit of wall, and we want to then climb onto another monkey swing. Now if you're having trouble getting Lara onto the monkey bars, try taking one climb step back down. So just tap the down button once so she climbs down once, and then tap the up button. Sometimes that's needed in order to get her onto the monkey bars. Use the smuggler's key like so. And we open the door into the next area. Now be very careful. I believe the first time I played through this, I ran off the edge by mistake, and it ended badly. And we need to avoid the darts if possible, but they don't actually poison Lara. They take a little bit of health, but they don't actually cause her to get poisoned, so don't worry about them too much. And then we can grab the stone wall at the end, but you can just let Lara drop because it's a waist-high pool of water at the end. And if you want to get rid of Lara's slow animation, just jump up once. Now we're about to enter the final area of the level, and one of my favourites. It's another beach. And get the Uzis out and blast the parrot before he comes to ruin your day. And underneath this little sort of dock area, we're going to find another key. So grab that. And then we're going to try out our new toy, which is a speedboat. Now, unfortunately, you don't get to use this very much, but it is necessary to complete the level. So you have to drive this boat up a slope, and it's fairly tricky. You want to position it as far away from the waterfall as you can. Put your backs to the wall and line it up straight. We'll need to open the door first and go onto this little area of beach here. Go to the highest bit of sand and climb to the shimmy ledge. And then we will be able to use the rusty key to open the door. Now, the trick to getting the boat up the slope, you will need to use the fast sprint option for the boat. But if you keep holding it down too long, Lara will hit the wall at the other side and she will die. So what you want to do is put on an initial spurt of sprint to get up the slope, and then as soon as you get to the top of the slope, you want to brake using the jump button. And that will stop Lara from impacting the wall too hard so that she dies. And we're getting close to where the pirates stored the main part of their loot. Ooh, oh no, they've trapped the place as well. There are darts, but once again, they don't actually poison us, so as long as you dodge most of them, you'll be alright. And then we can climb up the ladder and backflip onto the upper ledge. And here we see the treasure. And the thing that catches Lara's attention out of all this is a golden skull on that pedestal. So Lara is going to claim that as her prize. I guess it's easier to carry than those big vases, right? She'd never fit those in her boat. And that causes the exit to the level to open. Oh no, one of the pirates has woken up. You're stealing my skull, come back. So if you want to, you can take the boat back out, because if you don't, you won't be able to get it back, should you want to just drive it around a bit for fun. The area is quite confined, but I just thought it would be fun to implement the boat, even if it's only in a small area. And, ow, get off, Croc. No, I'm going to take a medkit. It's entirely possible to complete this level without medkits. I was just being sloppy there. I got caught by the crocodile. And we're going to Uzi him because we're not losing any more health. Right, unfortunately we can't take the boat into the exit of the level, so what we're going to need to do is dive in the water. And we're going to want to swim through the exit corridor from where the crocodile came. Swim through. And that is the end of the level. That is the open ocean. Lara can make her escape with all the booty that she has claimed. And if we look at our stats, it's taken us 27, nearly 28 minutes, and we have found all 7 secrets. So, I hope you've enjoyed. that was South Pacific, my first 20 square challenge level, and if you want to download this level, it's available on TRLE.net. I will include the link to the level in the description of the video below. And do let me know in the comments what you thought and anything you'd like to see in future videos. And please do consider, if you've enjoyed this video, liking and subscribing if you'd like to see future videos. And should you subscribe, please do hit the little notification bell on YouTube if you want to see any future videos that I upload, because that's how YouTube works these days. If you want to see future videos, you have to click on the little bell. So, this is Agent XP. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. TTFN.